So you're saying you got this 30-foot drop to a to a rocky beach covered somehow, Al?
Yeah, I happen to have 50 feet of rope in my pack.
You brought out the rope for anything besides tying up prisoners or anything?
Nope.
No,
But,
nope.
oh, well, I guess technically that was tying up a prisoner. So nope, never.
There was this one time. No. She had consent. Okay, what?
Yeah, I do. I have 50 feet of rope in my pack. And I will take 20 to anchor it.
Tying lots, are we?
To anchor it.
Yeah, to find something to tie it off to so that it is not going to come loose. So take 10 or take 20. I don't know if I can take 20 on that, but if you'd like a roll, I will give you a roll.
Yeah, when you can't tie knots, tie lots.
I like that. It's good.
Can't kill it easily, kill it with fire.
Yeah.
If it's spooky as shit, kill it with fire. There's a lot of...
And if you can't fall softly, fall hardly.
Aw. Sounds kind of sentimentally. Unless you're talking about something else, and you know that happens to a lot of Wolverines over 40 your age. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Elven Portal Podcast. We are attempting to wrap our head around the new rules, the new Pathfinder Core 2nd Edition rules. There are gaps we're finding and have to lean on ye old faithful, not 1st edition, which is completely different, but 2nd edition legacy, and that's fine. Paizo needs to catch up. They had, 20-odd, 30-odd books in the last inkling edition, right? And now they have 3. Right? But, we're getting by with old school alchemy.
They will catch up.
Yeah,
I'm sure they will.
Sure. It's fine. It's fine.
But in the
strip you
meantime,
of all abilities. They're not in the core rules immediately. What? Yeah, here goes half your...
I'm going to tie off this 50-foot rope and
all right.
check in to see if I've got feather fall.
Check into who and the what now?
I don't think I do from my spells, but I think I may from an item. So I'm just double checking that.
Just in case.
Just in case, because I have a feather token fan. Does it give me feather fall? No. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
I can use it to put wind in sails, which is kind of cool for 8 hours. I like it. I dig it. Or I can use it to cast gust of wind. Very cool. But yeah, I thought I had something. I really did think I had something for Featherfall, but maybe I don't. Maybe I do not. Yeah, it doesn't look like I do. So yeah, I will climb down the 30 feet using my athletics ability. I'll throw that in the tower because I can't bear to look.
For once, a climbing DC, and I wish Ryan was here. 18 athletics check. And that's just climbing down with that rope. So, no problem. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy down. Lots of, the bluff isn't like a straight drop. It's carved slowly outward to about a 3 to 5 foot stint. So there's those numerous handholds and things. It's treacherous, not something you want to pretty lightly, but with an 18 athletics check, you guys can, hop, skip, and jump your way down.
Sweet.
And then once I'm at the bottom, I will take a good look up and down the coastline to kind of mental imprint the location of the cave.
Yeah. Your easiest marker to the north, all the way up the coast and then curling out on a point of like a archipelago kind of thing, is Cypress Point, which Karam is looking at most wistfully as you see recognition in his eyes with this massive roll from last episode's society check. Karam, do you care to tell the audience, if not these spelunkers?
It looks like a small coastal town full of fishermen. At one point, it was under the neglect of Chelaxian rulers, but since the rebellion, the citizens have, kind of revitalized a little bit. It's well, not right now, it's on fire, but it was a vibrant settlement. And I believe they are believers of Desna.
You know what Karam rhymes with? Captain Obvious.
Right.
Mantle, Joe, I remove that mantle from your shoulders and drop it on Drew. There you go. He's speaking of Cypress Point, which, not just, as he says objectively, it appears to be this. Karam, you actually know it to be that. Just from, because I kind of dropped notes only for Drew to see, and he's... Memory serves, it's this. From your vantage point, Al.
So Miros gets down to the bottom. I'm going to stop him and we're going to have a look, because he is still a stone mason, I believe. And I'm going to ask him what it'll take to actually put some proper handholds in leading up to that.
Your cousin?
For when we go back up?
Miros.
Oh, okay. He's scratching his chin. He's thinking about it. Karam, two points of interest, okay? Cypress Point leads up to what they call the Steaming Sea. And you'll notice that to the west, coming off of the continent, is the Arcadian Ocean. And coming up around the top, kind of like going around the top of Europe and Germany towards Russia kind of thing, you have that slight closing in a little bit, is what's known as the Steaming Sea. For anybody that wants to Pathfinder wiki that and learn a little bit more at home. As far as Miros goes, you know what? This is a great time to use my actual physical Age of Ashes dice and peek at his character. It's doable, he says, but he would need tools and time. And since it's a 30-foot staircase, like, we would be delaying for days kind of thing. Even if he could pull it off in like a day or two, it's, you're chiseling solid bluff rock. That's heavy cord stuff. You need tools. No, he's confident that we could get some goblin labor out here and just leave them at it when we come back from adventuring in 3 days. By the time we save that village over there, the goblins will have a shoddy staircase, golem size, going up to Mount whatever.
Hey, we'll have to rely on the rope for now, but just keep it in your head. I have a feeling we're going to want to be going in and out of there on the regular if we can.
The cave is set back. It's not so obvious. Like, if you know what to look for, you can find it, but it's kind of hidden, Miros happens to mention that he didn't find any tracks with his knowledge, nature, and survivor inside the cave. Nothing's come out of that portal in a very, very long time, besides maybe some seabirds and gulls that he was happily chasing around in a circle moments before. He just launched himself, pirouetted, double-folded, and stuck the landing on a rocky beach, making all the stones pop up a foot and stop like the Force or some kind of Matrix movie, and then holding your rope for you.
Yes.
And giggling at your stud finder as you came down the rope as he has an upward view. So I'm not going to let that one go anytime soon.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything. I just don't want to leave the rope hanging. Or maybe we could take some time to tuck it in somewhere so it's not obvious.
Just can handle that. He'll climb back up, withdraw the rope, right? Assure you it's not such a hard to climb. Climb down with your rope and hand it to you. There you go. You could grapple your way back up, or that you guys could, like I said, a DC 18 check.
No, I didn't want to.
so
I didn't
difficult.
want to take the rope with me. I just
Oh,
wanted
okay.
it to be like hidden, so that it wasn't like
gotcha.
there's a rope coming out of that. I don't want to make the cave obvious. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, so did you want him maybe to go up there and just pull it up and leave it up there, and then he can go and bring
absolutely.
it down like a rope ladder, right?
Absolutely,
okay, yeah. Okay, so he goes up there and stashes the rope.
And then while he's doing that, take a few steps out onto the ocean.
Okay.
Have a gander.
The wind whips your robes, and your kilt. There's nothing like free balling it in the ocean.
Yeah. It's been quite some time since I felt that.
Your calves
Wind
turn
cut
red,
us
and you learn why they
bullets.
call it this. I was going to say your calves turn red and get hot, and you find out why they call it the steaming sea.
Oh, is it hot?
No, I'm thinking it's because of the vapors and fog that come off of it. So the hot day, and you have your cold ocean, and there's, you get mists certain times a day. That would be my best guess, but Karam could possibly tell us what the wiki says with another society check of why the steaming sea is called as such.
Well, before we sit here and do too much reminiscing, probably it'd be best to head down to that wee village and see if we can lend him a hand with the fire.
Yes, there is a town that sits half a mile away along the coastline, dotted with cypress trees. Smoke is rising from few smoldering buildings in the town, and an unusually large ship is anchored at the town's quay, which is not necessarily built for such a vessel that size. Perception, boys, in the tower as we squint down there, looking for our best option. Do we follow the beach? Do we climb up onto the, land and just run at the town?
Well, I might just walk across the ocean. Because I can do that.
Go right for the ship that's too large to be there. They're having a fire sale. It's a merchant ship.
But you got to say merchant with air quotes, Jeff.
Oh, sorry. A fire sale from the merchant vessel in international steam waters. Sure. All three of you, it is quite obvious that there is that
Raiders
din
from the
of
Fire Nation. Oh, sorry, wrong.
No. The Fire Nation attacked. Oh, dude, if I could get a picture of one of their iron steamers with the big gate that just comes right off the bow, like, what could be happening here? Nope, we're leaving. Forget it.
Yep.
Al's freaked out. Nope, we're done. Bye. Zuko's a shit and his sister's worse. We're out of here. Seals the portal. Suffers the backlash. Go somewhere else. Portal number 3. Let's go. I don't care about the level jump. We're not going. The din of panic sound coming from the town and the town streets, and that sort of tiny silhouettes running around. So it's not just like the town's on fire. It's almost like the town's being attacked. Because when there's a fire, there might be some panic around the smoldering buildings. The whole town doesn't freak out, right? End to end, as it would appear at your half-mile vantage point. What do we do?
Make up the base.
Yep, approach the town.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry too much about hiding or anything. I think commotion is going to be enough for us to
Hopefully.
kind of get right up on it.
Hopefully.
Famous last words, Joe?
Yeah. Famous last words. Fast words is don't open the door.
I open the door. Sorry. Oh,
Just so you guys have sort of a...
and just then the PTSD flashbacks start up again. Back in familiar place.
I was a little liberal with those, with with Frank and Star Wars, I think it's time, since we're going to start back playing Star Wars again in May, I think it's time to pick a new victim and start with a little couple of those. And I've got just the guy. You guys seeing this map?
I do see it.
Yep.
I do see it.
Do you recognize this map, Joe?
Seems
Yes,
like
I do.
I've been here before.
Although
Well,
it says,
part of the audience is Jungle Clearing 1,
yeah,
which
we have suffered many times.
we have suffered about 20 times. So, but it's just a random
No,
map,
he
so.
threw in some jungle clearing 2s and jungle clearing
I know,
3s.
but it's, yeah, it's just we used them a lot because I know you only get so many. So
Yeah.
that's
Thank you.
all right. As long as this isn't the water one, we're all good. Yeah, we'll refought.
Oh, those
Whatever.
flying things.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
whatever. Yeah, there's like a marsh-ish type map. It was annoying. Oh, look, difficult terrain, difficult terrain, difficult terrain, difficult terrain.
Fought the pterodactyl, the paragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine for the people who are flying. I was not one of them. So.
Fair enough.
All right, jungle clearing number 1.
You guys are stomping along,
Mhm.
minding your own business. When suddenly, when you round the brush, as it were, you come upon a contingent. Perhaps some sort of patrol. Even though you are trying to make directly for the large area, which is Cypress Point, there is a very good chance, and unfortunately it has happened, that you are intercepted by some sort of patrol before you get there. They are currently slugging along a man who is bound in manacles and wearing some sort of collar that contains a muzzle. 3 of these bald, female, dark-clad, sneaking-looking humans look remarkably like people we've run into recently.
Are those sneaky ladies in the shop?
To pull up a picture. As well as a dwarf. He blazonly has a red upside-down triangle, circle, and claw sort of attach, striking, painted on his shoulder of his armor, denoting him a member of the Scarlet Triad in broad daylight. But most impressive of all is the animal that they have, that they're toting along with them. It appears to be some sort of large boar. It has beady red eyes, gray fur, has studded Billy Idol collar clamps around its ankles. It has chains attached to its steel iron-tipped pointed tusks, 2 directly up out of the mouth and 2 large coming out sideways like a wildebeest, also coming out of its mouth. A large studded spike collar, like it is owned or tamed around its neck, with a chain length that's trailing that would look more like it's actually freed itself from its master as opposed to it's leashable to a master. patches of fur completely gone, chewed, and the front of its tusks and face are covered in scars and recent and somewhat dried stages of blood. And of course, the classic double-studded nose ring in its snout, and tall, thick, sharp-looking hooves for some sort of pig-like boar is up front and sniffing in your direction like it has possibly sensed you already. What do you do? You guys are literally stepping around cover and seeing this as they, are kind of going A to B past you. There is another figure on the map, and it is a captive that I described earlier, but not really relevant to.
Maybe in hushed...
I will place him. Sorry. Go ahead.
In hushed tones, I would probably indicate we've got to stop them. They are the Scarlet Triad.
All right. Right to battle.
In a snapshot, you have the boar up front. You have a wedge formation spread out of the sneaks, like they've just been told to look for something because the boar is on alert. And then in the back, you have a dwarf pushing, not carrying, not dragging, pushing from the back, a human prisoner. Karam whispers a warning, identifying them as the Scarlet Triad. Vicar is eager for combat and readies himself. Al?
I cast haste on myself.
All right. Starting off the ball with Karam. Can I have initiatives off your main page, gentlemen? And we will see who is quickest to act.
Tower or live?
Main page perception becomes initiative, so you're good. Their effects will become apparent most readily.
24. Woohoo.
Must be the seawater.
What'd you get?
6.
18.
Okay.
We all rolled below 8. So.
Okay. The boar goes first and is already doing what it thinks it's doing. It's sniffing. Perhaps you're downwind of it since it is not within 30 feet of you. 60 feet? Not sure. Anyway, it's on its guard and it's trying to perceive. All right? Miros looks excited. But he usually takes his cues from you guys. So I'm going to have Miros delay until somebody tells him what to do. Sneaky Human, 2, the Thug, and then Karam. These guys are making perception checks. And whether they spot you or not, I don't think their actions would be any more apparent than what they're doing. They're spreading out. They're getting ready, like they're looking for something. Even if they see you and look you right in the eye, they still look around to see if there's more or something else, which starts us in the initiative of 26 in Karam.
Okay. I will pull my short bow out.
Okay.
And I will do a recall knowledge check on the boar.
Okay. Knowledge nature.
There we go.
This thing is really, really cool. It is called a blood boar. Blood boars are fearsome swine bred specifically in Cheliax for a singular purpose, for hunting down escaped slaves. The species originated from a type of large feral boar native to Nadal's shadowy Uskwood to the northeast, and bloodboards retain their predator's gray fur, naturally red beady eyes, and exceptional senses. The intense breeding process to produce a blood boar, augmented by the selective application of magic, grants the creatures an unparalleled awareness of blood, including the ability to precisely detect a bloodied creature's location and movements, allowing the boar to track their prey from up to a mile away.
All right.
Something specific you'd like to know? As fear grips you, you are familiar with this creature, considering your archetype?
I guess any resistances it might have, potentially.
Okay. So if I throw this at it, not a good idea because it will do very little. That sort of thing. Okay. Decent AC, over 20, I'll say that. But it doesn't have anything like natural, because it is actually technically a, genetically bred natural creature. It's an animal, technically. It's not, although they use magic to, in the genetic selection and the way they breed it, which is already in that said description, it's not like, oh, I'm magically immune to fire because they threw magic on my person. Nothing like that you got to worry about.
Okay.
They're fast. Speed can be offense, and I will also color this as defense. These things have got a 40-foot move. These things are very fast.
Do I have a line of sight to actually hit him from here?
You actually wanted to shoot him?
Yeah.
Let's double check that. Now I'm just going to try to open up this map a little easier. When you guys were underground, it's cool to what's the word? To clip all the sight lines, right?
Yep. Makes it hard to see around boulders and things like that sometimes.
Yeah. Because it's hard edge wall, so it doesn't matter. But on an outdoor map such as this, it looks like crap. So what I'm going to do is, apologies to our audience, I'll just kill the actual lighting features. There we go. I can see you once again. So the boar is 50 feet from you, and you are shooting through concealment. I wouldn't call that bush cover. You know what I mean? So it would have very light cover bonuses. Your problem is you're shooting straight through allies, so I would suggest movement first. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you suffer a -1 penalty for shooting through Muros, and it gets a little bit of light cover because you're shooting through a dappled cypress tree as this thing comes around.
Okay, I think I'll move 10 feet to the south.
Okay. Salvo.
And that'll be me then.
Now you've used, what am I looking at here? You've used 1 for the recall knowledge.
Yep.
Right? And
pulled out my bow.
Yep.
And then moved.
Okay. Albric. Casting haste.
Yep.
Okay. And did we ever determine if that takes effect immediately or next, or is there a new function in the core rules
I
that
gain
fix
the quickened condition, and I don't think I get it the first round. If it was a spell-like ability, it does, or something like that. But because it's a spell, I don't get it the first round.
Okay. That was the legacy. I'm curious if they made a fix that, because they've really changed a lot of magic. Okay. But assuming 2 actions to cast and you only have a third left, unless we can squeeze another action from a quick lookup, what would you intend to do, Al?
I would, after that, Cast nothing. Oh, I do have Feather Fall. Damn it. Anyways, I could have done that with a flourish. Anyway, yeah, I will cast haste on myself and step back to occupy the space that Karam just.
Yep. Between the meat shields, stand forth, good men. Between me and thine enemy. All right. Sneaky human number 1 happens to be the one that is most southerly on the map and has a clear view of you and it. She starts speaking in Chilaxian to her comrades, and you see her hold up hands and make signals. Icy 4, pointed hat, wizard, she's spending her whole term giving some very quick instructions of what she sees. Quick, their position is grouped, something, pointed hat, a stud, and, this blah, blah, blah. Yeah. If we don't kill him, maybe I'll date him, that kind of thing. Which brings us to Vicar Niles.
Sweet. I will move.
Okay.
To directly, I guess, to the west.
Directly east and south of the cover.
Yep, and south of cover. Then I will obviously draw my weapon. And my last action is I'll cast shield on myself. And I don't know if it applied or not. I pushed the button. Nothing happened.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 20. Sneaky human number 3. Vicar Niles, she was using concealment because you guys had a blocked line of sight on her. You come around the bottom just in time to see her circle around to behind our position.
Mm-hmm.
Ending round 1. A snapshot of the battlefield. Imagine a vaguely kidney-shaped clearing. Let's go with that. The kidney is laying back on its side. Down the bottom of the bulbous end of said kidney, we have our bad guys. Kind of a 4-pack, but spread out in a 20 by 10 kind of spread. And one drifted across the map to the hero side of the map and is north of Muros and Al, about 15 feet, coming around a clump of trees. This clump of trees looks like sort of the amoeba's nexus floating in the middle of said kidney-shaped clearing. The clump of trees is about 15, 20 feet wide, about 25 feet long. Down the bottom tip of it, doing Ring Around the Rosie, we have Vicar Niles. At the top tip of it, coming around the top towards the party, we have one of the sneaks. Halfway down the clearing and sort of peeking around the corner at 10 feet away, we have Almiros. And straight down, clutching into the bottom left of the kidney shape into actual brush, because what makes the clearing shaped is actually trees all around, we have Karam with his bow. At the top of the round, we have the boar. Sniff, sniff, sniff. I see Vicar Niles pop out in front of me. Dude, why is it always you?
Guys, it is.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away. This thing paws at the ground and lets out a terrifying squeal. Auditory, emotion, fear, mental. As a single action, the blood boar lets out a hair-raising squeal. Squeal! I found lunch! Each creature within 30 feet must succeed at a DC 23 will save or become frightened 1, frightened 2, and a critical failure. If the blood boar uses terrifying squeal on the same term after using some of my other abilities, it goes up. You, sir, are within 25 feet of me. I am unaware like they haven't ordered the boar, hey, there's 4 opponents. They were busy talking to each other. So no one's told the boar that there's a bunch of you. I see somebody. I know you're within range. I squeak at you. Can I have a saving throw willpower from Niles?
That was a 32.
You succeed. Paws the ground, squeals, and then immediately uses its second action to come right at you, opening its mouth and trying to latch its jaws on a leg, perhaps a thigh. Maybe I'll go for an arm, the way German shepherds do to take down their prey. Jaws clench on your armor and close tightly, vice-like grip, but miss and scrape off with a 24. And that is Mr. Bloodboar's turn. Miros. A full round. Al, you fall back beside Miros. He looks to you for direction. What did you tell him you wanted him to do this round?
Cast haste on himself.
Okay.
You idiot. Do I have to spell it out for you? Awfully quiet today.
He gets his big, wicked, gnomish grin. Like, wait for it.
That's the spirit, lad.
Done and done. Anyway, he has already cast it. Goes flying towards Niles and uses Life Leap to get adjacent, trying to flank the boar. Pops on the other side. In classic Miros' style, inspired by the new awesome creature, Miros lets out a gnomish squing all the way there, pops out of sight with his ability, and reappears in my best Ryan impression on the other side. And then tries to find boar or piggy cojones and starts doing a flurry of kicks towards our little friend, or I should say our large friend. Looking at the picture, I thought they were going to drop like a large creature, but it's technically medium sized, so I'm only 1 square. It'd be awesome if this thing was like large or huge, right? Just, oh my god. But then it would be eating slaves and not grabbing them and dragging them back, so. Fist of Fury. Opening salvo. As a single attack with a 25 hit, doing 46 plus 9 points. As a second attack with a penalty, but still only counting as a single action. I believe that's how fisting works.
Yep.
Missing with a 5. And then following up with his last, sensing a soft target, risking the only plus 12 with a crit. So he kicks its legs apart and almost breaks a leg, then kicks high up under there and doesn't find anything. And then he plunges his fist into the back of the boar, hopefully striking its rump and not getting a soft spot or, going up to his sleeve. Hey, this is what Ryan gets for not showing up on my show. A fight the good fight.
Look, I've got a puppet. That's what he would be doing right now.
Whee!
Oh,
The pig squeeze again. As Neuros does 43 points of fisting damage.
oh no.
And that's Miros. Good night, everybody. Sneaky Human 2 takes advantage of his position and moves up on him. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Pulling weapons as she goes, dagger and rapier, and as her final action, tries to plunge her dagger in the back of our unsuspecting gnome. Which, does Miros have any anti-flanking? Like, is everybody off guard here? Are we just setting everybody up for...
Well, I see, like, we got this daisy chain going on. Technically, he'd be off guard for sure, right? Because of the positioning.
Let me just double check the boar, because I forgot to make the boar off guard because he got a flank on it. So apologies.
Did that 20 hit?
Euros got a 19 and he got 25, which did hit, and then he got a 30 for a critical. So just checking that the 19 may or may not have. If I go back to my boar, apologies, and quickly give him the off guard.
If a 30 was a critical, was it a 20 roll?
1 second.
Oh yeah, you can just drag that now.
My AC's 23, right? So now that I've made him off guard, I'm going to drag it over and see. Come on, did that hit?
Yep.
No, still telling me it missed. Okay. So now we know for sure.
It worked though.
Yeah, but credit where credit's due.
Yep.
So
I think Euros has an Feebled and Sickened on. Should he still have those?
I would love him to, but no, I'm going to take those off. Hey, look, he's got haste on himself. He came prepared. I will take those off. Thank you for calling that. And we will give him off guard before Sneaky Human tries to stick a rapier in the back of him. One rapier attack. Misses Miros. And that's her set of actions, bringing us to our dwarf. Our dwarf shoves our prisoner hard to the ground, towards a bush, and then pulls a javelin and comes forward 5, 10, 15, 20. Don't think these guys move that fast. Whoops, my movement. 20 feet. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then it's 10, 15, 20. Does a double move. No. Sorry, that's 4 actions. Shoving the prisoner prone. Right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, pulls javelin, and he's done. I could say the shoving was for flavor, but technically making somebody prone on the battlefield, whether he's combat or not, is still a tactic, so I'll have him burn it. That's fine. Which brings us to Karam.
All right. I think I will use a devised stratagem right here against the boar.
Okay.
21.
Against our boar. That is a hit. Because my 23 becomes a 21 because I'm off guard. Aren't you lucky?
Oh, you know what? I'm
Tactics.
shooting through... Well, no, I'm not technically shooting through, so...
You're shooting straight through...
I will have
Niles.
to move if I want to
Yeah,
keep
that's
it.
fine.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
right. So if you want to move forward,
I will move to the southeast. 5, 10, 15... Whoa.
like this, your clean shot would be to come forward to Vicar and then hit step south.
Yes. That'll work.
Okay. Okay. So you get your recall knowledge, you move into a good position, you take your clean shot, you use said recall knowledge for said shot, and damage. Nice.
23.
Using your deadly piercing 3d6 because this thing is caught off guard. You bury an
Nice.
arrow deep in its neck and it starts bleeding profusely, or at least it's a solid shot. But the hide is tough, the thick is fur, and the fur is thick. And I have a lot of Billy Idol kind of collars and studs to protect me. Which brings us to Albric of the Stone and the Checker.
It's me. Pardon me. Are these bushes difficult terrain? Can I move through them?
Do you see how there's sort of a slight gap in between them? Where one starts and the other one stops?
10, 15, and then, yeah, like right.
Yeah.
So if I was to move straight through.
Right in here. See that?
Yep.
Okay. It's is it clean enough in here that that's a gap? It's difficult terrain because you can't really go into the bush. You get stuck, right? So if you're looking for that 30-foot move,
so it'll be a double. It'll be a double move.
10, 15 to get up to the bush, and then we say that's 25.
Yep.
That's 35, and then you can step out at 40.
And then one step down to be right adjacent to Miros.
It's 45.
Okay.
Your
And that's
movement is 20 feet
25.
because you're a dwarf.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing any armor.
Oh, is that why? Yeah, I guess my dwarf is wearing armor. That must be why his reduced to 20.
Yeah. Typically. And from this position, I will now cast Enervation, which is a 30-foot line. Do I catch them all? Oh, I don't, but I do catch 2 of them. Hitting the sneaky
would
human
you
2 and a
Would you
dwarf.
like to adjust your tactic?
Um,
You have a spell in mind as you approach. If you wanted to step here, right? Technically, the corner
Oh,
of
yeah,
your square is
yep.
touching the corner
You're
of her
right.
square.
I
I
could.
learned this from portal shooting. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Hey,
And that does
it's
put
my
me in
job.
range. Yeah, I would
Okay.
adjust that because I do have the movement to do it.
Now, just so we're clear, I'm not telling a player what to do. I see a tactical dice number equation right in front of him. That is an option. My job to spell it out. That's it.
I appreciate that, sir. And yes, I
Because
will.
when you guys start fighting bad things that have a script that's just going to maul you guys, sorry, you're on your own. So, trying to be nice now. All right. So,
So, Sneaky Human 1 failed. The Dwarf Thug succeeded, and Sneaky Human 2 critically succeeded. Wow.
good for us. Let's deal with Sneaky Human 1.
I
sorry, let's deal with
be able to
let's-
put the one button, I think. I'm going to try.
Okay.
Doesn't say. Okay, so. Success. Creature takes 2d8 persistent negative damage. Failure. Creature takes 48 persistent negative damage and becomes drained 1.
Critical success.
Critical success. The creature is unaffected.
Okay. So, Sneaky Human 2, that's right by you.
Yep.
Okay. You crank up your spell, and she just, like sucks it in at the last second, and you get more clothes than actual flesh with it, and just, I see the finger of Ray Doom coming up, and she just like grabs your wrist, pulls it forward, so you're shooting past her and shoots her friends. Not much I can do, it's going off, but hey, And I crit success, dun dun dun. But unfortunately, my boss, the Dwarf Thug, who I guess I don't like because I just pointed your finger death at him, he gets a regular success, and the girl in the back, Sneaky Human 1, gets an actual full failure.
Yep.
So let's start with success. We'll work our way down the line here.
2d8
Dwarf,
persistent negative damage.
Okay, you fired in there, and I will afflict it to him. Oh, persistent as in, like, not this
Yeah.
round? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it would happen on their turn.
Which brings us to...
And then the one at the back, Sneaky Human 1, gets drained 1 and takes 4d8 persistent negative damage.
Okay. Drained 1. Let's talk about drained. Do you remember?
I believe it is like -1 to basically everything. Your attack, your defenses.
No, but I mean it's stackability. When you suffer other drained effects, it jumps and...
I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look into that one. You mean like, so after a round, if it wears off, you mean?
I put my screens away because we're into new rules, but it does have some basic descriptions.
Yeah, drained does not go away. Like all the other ones. You need a full
Doesn't
night's
count
rest.
down.
Yep.
Yeah, you need a full night's rest and blah, blah, blah.
To reduce it by 1, you need a full night's rest.
Now, this penalty, the status penalty, will affect my constitution-based checks.
Ooh.
It will also affect my fortitude saves.
You
Okay.
lose a number of hit points equal to your level times the drain
value.
and maximum hit
Nice.
points are reduced by the same amount. So it's just like a chunk down. Cool. I knew there was a reason I liked opening with that one. Especially if you can find the line.
Right. So I'm a 6th level creature. She automatically takes 6 wounds. Just like that. Ugh, I feel tired. I feel weak. I look up past the dwarf and I see one of my own allies pointing your hand at me. Okay, we're going to talk later, bitch. Oh, yes, we will. And anything else?
No, that's all my actions.
Okay. Funny enough, her in the back, it's her go. She's going to tell me how she feels about this, right? Okay. She, the ones that I didn't move, I had them like perceiving and, signaling, doing a whole bunch of complicated stuff. Whatever message she relayed, it seemed pretty complicated and took all actions. Now, this round, she draws weapons and advances. 5, 15, 20, 25 right next to our sorcerer. And I'm going to plunge my rapier in you. Nothing personal. 23, tickle, tickle, tickle. That's a miss. And that's her.
Happens.
Yeah, what can you do? What can you do? These mooks don't have much money. We didn't. These mooks, these sneak mooks, didn't have a lot of bones in the last encounter. I don't expect them to get any better here. You're fighting 6th level dudes. Vicar Niles Albright.
Sweet. I would like to skewer the boar, if I may.
Okay. Target locked. And
Attack. For a 29.
that is a solid hit, sir.
Oh, geez. For a whopping 6 damage. Yeah.
Boop. Gotta do something about your stud finder there, buddy.
Yeah. And I will stick it again. You'll be better this time. Yeah. 23.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna give you a +1 for that commentary. +1 to hit. All right. Damage.
Oh my god. For 6
Another 6.
again.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for consistency.
Yeah.
Thanks for the neato little scars, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I would like to cast a spell.
Shield?
Yes. And I am done.
Press your button on your guy.
I did, and it won't do anything.
Yep. Sneaky human number 3. In the back. Comes around the bushes. 5 out, so I don't have to deal with the bush itself. 5 down is 10, 15, 20, 25. I come 25 feet, and I launch a dagger at our halfling from the back. To the fight, Karam. Wing. and a miss with a 20. And I lose a dagger in the bushes. I come around, I throw my dagger, and then in my last action, I go 5, 10, 15, and I scooch up behind Karam and join the chain gang, the daisy chain. Red, green, red, green, red, green. I don't think we've had a triple flank before. Causing Vicar Niles to become off guard as everyone is in this strange, I gotta say this, yeah, well, I'm trying to use the map in exciting new ways, but it's kind of strange, right? And that's the end of round 2. Round 3 is the boar's turn. I am combat trained. I don't just hunt down helpless nobodies. Ooh. Can I do my squeaking? Time I want. It lets out another terrifying squeak. Can you all make a willpower save DC 23, please?
Natural 20 or 35.
Natural 1 for 19.
Kiram?
32. Actually, can I use an ability to help
Can you roll
out
for
Niles?
Ryan so I don't get blamed? Why, yes, you can. No, it's 7 for 21. He fails. Can you use a hero point?
You said DC 20.
23.
Oh, 23. Ooh. Poor guy.
Sorry, Karam, you're saying?
Yeah, I've got this ability called Guiding Luck. Your luck guides you to look the right way. Well, actually, that might not be the right one. It's shared luck. There we go. You can use halfling luck with an ally within 30 feet that fails a skill check or a saving throw to allow the ally to re-roll the triggering check instead of you re-rolling your own failed check.
Yeah.
So
What do you want to do?
I'd like to use that so Niles can re-roll his will save.
Okay. Yeah,
Sweet.
you're Jason. He gives you the thumbs up. You got this.
You got to do it again.
Try it again.
Oh my God. 25.
What? It's a save.
Yay,
is this a
thank you.
reaction? Sorry, did you say it was a reaction or an action? It should be a reaction, right? Because you can do it immediately.
Let me go back to Halfling Luck. It is a
This has
free
gotta be-
action.
A free action, so you're not even burning your reaction. Dude, that's huge.
No,
I,
but
I can only do it once a day.
and the person, and it's a fortune effect. So you, which means you can't like use a hero point and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
balance
use it when I
math.
use Devise Stratagem, so might as well use it on somebody else.
Okay, that's all right. I will happily make Miros think twice about fisting a boar as this thing squeals and freaks him out, and he gets the frightened one condition because I'm just, yeah. Ryan doesn't listen to the show, right? So I'm sorry. Apologies to the rest of you that do. So, right. The boar squeaks as its first action. Then it takes a 5-foot step south to get out of being off-colored, off-guard, off-centered, and all the rest of it.
Sweet.
Boink, boink. And then, once again, being sort of single-minded and straight in front of me, as we know boars and charging do, it thinks it's being clever by just circling around, keeping its, face towards Niles. And it tries to bite him again as its third action. And actually gets through, chews on your leg, and does 2d8 plus 8 piercing damage with its jaws. And you take 15 points of piercing damage, Vicar Niles.
I will take it.
Now, okay. And now it is Miros' turn. A slurping and popping noise as the boar moves away from Miros. He wipes his hand on the back of his jeans. No reason. What would you have Miros do? Attack the boar or defend you, Al, because you are getting surrounded?
Attack both.
Yeah, he could.
Spread it out. Yeah, sure.
Flurry of beatings all around.
He uses the releasing suction to deliver a crazy backhand blow to the rogue behind him.
Why not? Glad you said it. Why not? A fury of beatings to the woman behind him, opening with a miss. Oof. Oof. That's right.
Miro, step it up.
Attack, but only a single action. Hits with a 31. Wails on her for 19 points of damage. And that's a single action. Then he turns his attention to the boar, happy that he got a solid hit on the girl. And changing my target to the boar as a third hit. He not 20s this thing. Sticks his boot in him.
Uses the other arm. Can't have a
Boot the head- no,
unmatching.
No. It's bad enough that we're doing this to him. I'm trying to get something original, So he kicks him and loses a boot in there. Yeah.
Should name this episode From the Bowels of Boredom.
I will. Do you know every episode of this entire podcast is actually named after a real Pathfinder Second Edition feat? I should remind you.
Yes.
I did know
So,
that.
so I'll let you guys help me out here. Go into Arcanes and Deaths, type in bowels, and scroll down and look for feats. How about it? 47 points to the boar. And it squeals and falls over with Miros' boot sticking out of it. And as a final action, Miros turns his attention back to the girl and takes a 5-foot step to the south to begin his own circling around and sort of flanking. Unless, you know your cousin Al, would you rather have him come towards you so that you can drift back and leave him to fight them?
No, I like what he did there. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, the problem is they would just circle again and you'd just be endless chasing across the map.
It's tactics, man. That's it's all part of it, right?
Yeah. I've been watching you guys, so, when it comes to play robot, the missing carrot player. Now, in Ryan's defense, guys, he literally works across country and is flying home from Vancouver and couldn't make it, so it's not like he's, could possibly schedule this. And he's not doing bad. Sneaky human number 2 is the one that actually just got kicked by Miros. So she takes a 5-foot step south. Oh, sorry. She takes a 5-foot step, taking into his position.
Would that trigger
And-
his reaction?
No, because it's a step, not a stride.
Okay.
They still have like the 5-foot step. They call it stepping as opposed to 5-foot step, but yeah. Also, she has mobility. So she can actually, just move right on by. Actually, now that you remind me of that, I'm going to retcon that. She sticks him and then moves past him and up to you, flanking you.
Okay.
Because she has mobility and doesn't trigger. 4 with a critical miss. Poke. Oh, dance.
That was
away.
on Miros.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I wanted to stick him because she hit me
okay.
and then drift back to take out the sorcerer kind of thing. He just killed a pig, so it's kind of like a stabbing withdrawal, right? Oh, shit. But she gets a little tangled up, and her critical miss costs her third action, so I will move down. our dwarven thug launches his javelin straight at Miros. Roaring in dwarven, no! Sure.
Did it have a
Sorry,
name?
maybe it's he falls to his knees going, Rosebud, and then yeah. No, its name is not Rosebud. The dwarf just called it that. Otherwise, those crits and misses would be pulling cards, and then you guys would be in a world of pain. Targets Miros with his javelin. Critical miss.
Oh, Muros.
Yeah. And goes to charge Miros, realizing that the overextension of the huge throw caused his mace to loose, and his flail falls to the ground. And I spend my third action not charging Miros, but retrieving flail, so I end my turn as if I'd drawn my weapon in hand. And that's our
2d8
dwarf.
persistent damage for 13. And then he gets his flat check.
Oh, we missed one of the sneaky humans too, right? Human number
Yes.
one?
No, it was Sneaky Human 1. So yeah, you're right. They missed theirs as well.
Oh, sorry. We haven't got to her yet. She's after you. Sorry.
Yeah, but she
You're
was right after it happened. It should have happened on her turn. Because I blasted her and then she moved up on her turn, which was after mine.
Oh, okay. So you want to retcon some stuff for her then?
There's 48 for her.
Okay, so she takes 20. Don't worry, she's still standing, which I'm sure she would have.
Perfect.
And then I get a flat check to end it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's your DC 15.
Let's try some real dice since you can't see my dice. Actually, you know what? I can roll these dice. I can roll the audience dice. You'll actually see those. Flat check
Oh, nice.
13.
Fail. Haha.
Fail. Yeah.
And then a flat check for your dwarf as well.
Wow.
Haha. There you go.
And the dwarf took how many?
13.
What are you, Mr. Dwarf? There you are. I don't feel good. That would actually make sense. Like he goes to move and he bends over to pick up his weapon and comes back up and gets hit by the innervation. What's going on? Karam, you're up. Al, get ready. You're on deck. What do you want to do, Karam?
I am interested in attacking the dwarf with the symbol on his armor. So I'll devise stratagem first, I guess. That makes sense.
I need a -1 because you're shooting through your friendly. Miros is literally half the distance to him, unless you want to take a step out.
I can move first, I suppose.
Okay.
Maybe just a 5-foot step to the
Yep.
southeast.
So you're not provoking get away from sneaky girl that's all interested in you and Vicar, right? So that's good.
Ooh, there we go. 35.
Critical on the thug.
Ooh, that's
Go,
gonna be
Karam.
good.
This little dude's pretty good with his bow. I gotta
he
admit.
really is. Now
This is a slut.
that's right there. That's the crazy part.
Okay, so what crit with a
Him in the
bow?
eye.
Because it's a deadly weapon, right? So, Drew, with great pleasure, would you tell me the color and the number and the shape of the dice that have completely filled my screen, you little shit? I mean, good for you.
Oh, yeah. There's 2 black. There's 3 purple. There's another purple. And then there's a total of 5 greens.
So 3 on the D6, and it's striking. So a 4 on a D6 black. Then we get the deadly. Only a 2 on the D10, not great. Then we get into the fact that it crits. So 2 more D6s, which are green. A 1 and a 5. Still not great. But because... Why are you getting the precise damage?
It's part of my, let's see.
And does it apply to ranged weapons?
Yes, it does. Well, not
Okay.
all of them, but yes, mine does.
And it's, as long as I'm within 30 feet, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's part of my devised stratagem that I get precision damage.
Because it's the precision that also critted the next 6 dice, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, that makes up for the earlier shit rolls. Like, damn, dude.
Yep. And if I don't do device stratagem, I get no precision. But then he also takes 1d6 persistent bleed damage because of my scalpel's point feat.
Okay.
On his
So
turn. Oof.
When we get to his turn, yeah.
He's bleeding. He's enervating.
Yeah.
He's going
I'm
to get up to the
hemorrhaging,
party
that's
and
for
just
damn sure.
fall over dead.
No, this dude's pretty tough. He takes it. He takes it in a lung, and it's nasty stuff. And he howls in rage, but only takes a step back and sets his eyes. Forget Muros and the Javelin. I have a new rage friend. His name is Halfling. I don't know your name, so, racial slurs. Racial slurs erupt from this dwarf. But we censor our podcast, so that's okay. Moving on. How could we let this happen? All right. Anything else, Karam?
Nope, that's me. Devise, move, shoot.
Okay. Albric, Stonechucker, clearing your opponents for the moment. You are considered off guard because you have been flanked.
My poor
But that
self.
should not affect your spells, or does that mean we get free whacks to disrupt them if you try and do something in our face?
Only
wonder
if
if
we
off
have
guard goes that
reactions that can.
Yeah,
Fire
there's
off.
probably talents for that, but
But
do
I
you wanna
am
do now?
going to step
Okay.
back in between Muros and the person who flanked me, and then I will.
you can step straight up or straight down. You can't clip a corner because I'm part of that corner, unless you use some kind of acrobatics, which I believe counts as full movement, unless you have feats to make
okay.
it stepping. So possible, just not within your wheelhouse. Still, coming straight down towards allies is recommended because when they go, they'll have you off guard, right?
Well, you know what? I will just stride. 5, 10,
Okay.
15, 20 to get to the other side of the sneaky human too.
Okay.
And then I will cast Crashing Wave.
You push yourself into a bush, into difficult terrain.
Okay.
And the bush, like you're sticking your upper body in it, you're considered squeezed. I don't know if squeezing disrupts any spells. Flat check. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Well, you
But-
know what? Yeah, no. Then I'll stop short
you're
there.
just happy with the okay.
I can get the same effect and just start it on this on the top corner square and still not
Don't
catch anybody, which is a
think they
30-foot
have
cone. Is there a tool for that business?
Not an accurate one, but one that's at least projecting. That's like, oh, this is kind of what it looks like.
So it'd be
You
a
wanna
cone
do this. You want to do a cone to hurt who?
to get sneaky human 1 and 2. I mean, if I could squeeze, I might be able to change. Yeah, I guess that would work too, wouldn't it?
Now, the cones, unfortunately, on this template aren't what's actually in the rule set. It's a jagged, there's jagged over, you know what I mean?
Yep.
However, I can say this, considering where you are, usually the cones that go out from the center of you, like here, right? They come out a square, then they fan out 2 squares, and like Muros and Sneaky Girl are kind of safe, right? With most cone templates. I'd be willing just to go with the 2, and I'm also willing to retcon later if we can find that template. You know what I mean?
I do have the Pathfinder template for a 30-foot cone straight out.
Okay, can you pull up the drawing tool and just draw it for me? Square
Yeah.
by square?
I can certainly try to do that. Where's the drawing tool? Drawing.
It's the quill pen. Yep. So dip your ink top corner of your, or bottom corner or center or whatever you want to do, right? Can you send me a picture of this? Can you like put it up so we can all see? He's just trying. It's a very long casting spell. We can drag your effects onto the guy. You want to hit me with the spell? We'll get into some numbers.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time drawing it. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Up one corner. Oh, sorry. Should be actually up here. Then down 2. Then out 1. Then down 1, 2. Then out 1. Then down. Then back. Then down 2. Then back. Then down 2. Then back. Then back.
Slow motion. Holy shit.
That is a 30-foot square. I will send you the picture.
Okay. But you need to be in the middle of it. That whole thing should be dropped down 1, and it's going to engulf Miros.
Yes,
who
it's
probably said,
sorry.
I'd take it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So that whole the whole thing.
It's like you're there, and Miros is here, and like the whole thing would make more sense if it looked like
No,
this.
it's 2. No, is it 3 across the bottom? No, it should only be 2 squares across the bottom. So I've got 1 square too many, and it should be 2 at the end. I don't know. Here, I'll show you the picture.
Right. Can you get them all in, and are you going to hit Miros? Who'll probably say, do it. Right, so-
No, it will hit them all and not hit Miros.
Okay.
But I'll show you the picture. That's the Pathfinder grid
Sure.
things. I just got to figure out where I saved it.
That's fine. Give us your spell and your damage, and then we'll worry about retconning shapes. Fire off all the nasty.
I don't know if that's going to work for you. Try it. The link. It doesn't.
Okay, yeah.
It's weird, but anyways. How do I do this? All right. Can I get rid of that drawing crap now somehow? Yes. Thank you.
So you're doing cone number 4, that where you're sitting in the sort of one corner of a 2 square wide. Okay.
And it's they all are all nice and targeted already. Sorry, this took a whole lot of time to just line up, but let's see if that works. Casting at failure, critical failure, double damage, and failure. I like that. That's really nice. A critical failure has another effect on this.
From climates. Damage?
Was there a critical? No, it's just damage. Okay. So explosion.
Yeah, there's a critical fail, which means you'll do critical damage.
Oh no. I thought it also did knockback, but it's been changed.
Okay. Oh,
So
well then.
that should automatically apply all that fun stuff. Yes, it does. 54 to Sneaky Human 2, 27 to Sneaky Human 1, and 27 to the Dwarf Thug, as a wave emanates from my hands, slamming into them.
Nice. They are rocked back within their square. They are bruised and battered, but each and every one of them is not only still standing, is quite pissed. All 3 at one Albric Stone Brick Chucker Sorcerer. And we're all going to target you next time.